So what made you start this channel?
This is a fashion archive interview. I'm going to be interviewing.
Alright, so welcome back to the channel, and this is the second interview of the series I stole from him. So it was only right, you know, I brought him on the channel. If you guys don't know, he had something called Up and Running, where he used to interview YouTubers in the scene, and since he stopped it, I thought I would continue it.
Stolen.
So I'm just gonna ask you loads of questions, and yeah, we're just gonna talk for the most part. So,
Sounds good.
first thing is, what got you into fashion first? I think I remember seeing you, the first time I ever saw you was from the basement. So, how did you kind of get involved with the basement and stuff like that?
So the way I got involved with the basement was basically through a friend of mine who I went to college with. So, a girl called Sydney, we had maths together. She was like the cool indie girl, came from Ibiza, and she was like, yeah, I go to London regularly.
Yeah.
And I was kind of stuck. Not stuck, but I was trying out the modeling industry. So I kind of went to London regularly, and I was like, basement, sounds sick. Didn't really wear streetwear. I was more into kind of like, not preppy, but I was wearing some Marni stuff. I was wearing some whistles, some more like, not mainstream, but not like fashion streetwear. So joined the basement, started going to Supreme drops back in 2016, I think. I probably went first time in 2015, and then 16 I went to loads of drops.
Yeah.
And that kind of just stuck. So I never really wore Supreme print stuff or Supreme really branded stuff. It was always kind of a streetwear, but the crowd I was mixed with were really into that whole Supreme wave back when it was cool.
You were going to London a lot. Where was that from? Was that from Denmark, or where was that from?
No, so I've been in the UK for 6 years now. So I used to live out in Reading, just outside Reading with my parents. And I would go to college out there, a place called Henley-on-Thames.
Yeah.
And then I would probably go to London twice a week, catch a train from Twyford to London. You'd be there in like an hour and 20.
Yeah.
And then that would be throughout my last year at A-levels, basically.
Yeah. Alright, that's cool. So then why did you decide to start YouTube? Like, what made you decide, you know, I want to vlog? Because I think those were your first videos, the vlogs. I remember seeing those. So what was the inspiration behind those?
Yeah, I haven't really spoken much about like what made me get into YouTube, I guess, but there's a video on my channel called Welcome to My Channel.
Right.
Ghost Chili Pepper Edition. So when I was younger, I'd say when I was like 16, 17, I watched a fuckload of YouTube. I watched stuff like Casper Lee, Massey Maz, Sam Pepper, all these like typical British collaboration YouTubers. And I was like, yes, I want to do YouTube. And then I thought it'd be a good idea to do like a Ghost Chili Pepper thing.
Yeah.
Hated that whole thing. It was really awkward as shit. But then I wanted to just make vlogs to kind of remember more. I've always had like a very shit memory, just in general. Like I can't remember what I did yesterday, pretty much. So started vlogging. It's like a good way to interact with people, do some new stuff. Yeah. So it just kind of came from an interest of sharing what I was doing. Yeah. Often I didn't really do much, but the main thing was just sharing kind of the life of someone who did fuck all. Looking back, it was, I don't know why I started vlogging, but I think I wanted to teach myself something. And I'm a firm believer of this principle of trying new stuff and kind of challenging yourself, learning new things. And I've really enjoyed it. And I think the reason why I've enjoyed it a lot is because now when I watch other YouTube videos or watch movies, I'll really appreciate the editing. Yeah. And I'll appreciate the whole cinematography. So I just started with an interest and thought it'd be cool.
That's good.
When I was younger, there was probably like, I'm gonna get some views and shit like that. But I think it's always kind of something you semi-dream of, but don't necessarily expect, I guess.
Okay, that's really cool. So a burning question I have, and the followers of this channel have, is so people ask me this question probably every day, and it's, what is your opinion of YouTubers that have a fashion brand? So people have asked me what my opinion is on your brand.
Yeah.
And what I say is, because on this channel I kind of like talk about designers like Margiela and their collections and whatever. So people just think I'm just going to shit on YouTube brands. But what I say is, it depends on where you market yourself as. So people ask me about your brand, I'm like, it is what it is. It's like high quality clothing that's made well, but no one should expect some Margiela design because you're not marketing yourself that way. But if a brand is trying to position themselves as like a runway brand, Paris Fashion Week, then it'll be judged amongst those brands. So that's kind of how I see it. Because people are always like, oh, but you shit on Off-White, but then you don't shit on running. And it's like, Off-White's trying to compete with like Yohji Yamamoto at Paris Fashion Week, and like running is literally just in its own lane. So what do you think personally about like other YouTubers? I think there's Bare Knuckles, there's Avery. I'm not sure if you know Avery.
Oh yeah.
He has a brand.
Stats Ballet.
Yeah. Who else?
You've got Vujade, Ken's brand.
Ah yeah,
Bare
that's
Knuckles,
quite neat.
Stats,
Yeah.
With Jacob. Obviously you've got Silver League, which is Archive, which is Fernando's. I think Sick made some t-shirts as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a very standard thing.
Yeah.
And something you see with not just YouTubers but influencers and other people that you'll start a brand.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking stupid. No, I don't think it's stupid. My opinion is that it's a tricky one because on one hand I think that the content I've made on YouTube has suffered a lot from me making a brand.
Yeah.
Because suddenly it's like I'm talking about fashion, I've got to talk about my brand a lot, which means that a lot of the pickups I've done, a lot of the fashion content I've made has some way involved running.
Yeah.
And at some point people are just going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. So I think in that sense my content has suffered a lot from starting a brand. Not because the time it's taken to do it, but more so it's like we need to sell product. Like I've got an office, I need to sell product.
Yeah.
I need to push running. So I think on one aspect it can be really great if you really engage your audience with the process behind it. But I also think that a lot of people's content will suffer because it's essentially a promotion that's disguised under your own brand name.
Yeah.
In terms of brands kind of entering the realm of fashion, I think I agree with what you said.
Yeah.
It kind of depends how you position yourself.
Yeah. Because
we haven't tried to position ourselves with Margiela, with Yohji, with the Antwerp 5 or 6. So I understand if people say I think it's boring.
Yeah.
Which I completely understand. But the way we've tried to position ourselves is more among the likes of like Our Legacy, Hope Stockholm, a bit of Acne Studios, where we have low price points. I would argue we've got similar quality, but it's more about your everyday wear, stuff that you can wear in and out. Often when you wear statement pieces, you'll wear them twice, maybe 3, 4, 5 times, and then you kind of lose the novelty. We just want to create something that's very wearable, good quality, made ethically, and I think people appreciate that, but I think we also get a lot of stick for being the boring brand. I think it's interesting. Without a doubt, 99% of the success from running is obviously through YouTube. And I don't really shy away from saying that because that's probably the truth. But it's also nice that we can kind of make a brand that sells directly from the factories in Portugal to the consumer at what we think is fair price, rather than having to go Portugal, middleman, retail store, where suddenly a £60 jumper will then be 140 because of the margins. So we just really care about making good quality, straight to consumer. Some people it's still going to be more expensive and it's going to be too expensive, but we've done our best to kind of make margins that we're going to live off, and so we can have the office. I've got 2 people who work here full time while still being able to give good prices.
Yeah, that's cool. So another question.
What do you think about
What do I think about
what do you
YouTuber
think about
brands?
YouTuber brands?
Okay, so it's a hot take, but I'm now being interviewed. So I feel like once again it's how you position yourself.
Yeah.
So I judge it like how you position yourself. So with your brand, I don't have a problem with it because you've, like you said, our legacy. It makes sense. However, I do feel like some YouTubers try to position themselves as like Fashion Week level clothing. It's like, in that case, I can't really back it. So there's some brands, I'm not going to mention names so no one gets hurt, but like, yeah. There's some brands I don't really support, others I do because of how you position yourself. I think that's the main point.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I think if I was to make a brand that was Fashion Week level, I'd have to go study it at school because otherwise there's no way it could be at that level ever. So I feel like YouTubers who don't have that sort of design skill and then try to make a brand that's kind of positioned as like London Fashion Week is like, just no.
But how would you define Fashion Week level? Because I think at Fashion Week it's always kind of like, oh, we gotta do something completely brand new and crazy.
Yeah.
Where I think it's also about doing something that's commercial in a way. We've kind of towards the idea of having a fashion show, but not have it at Fashion Week because that's not what we appeal to. But more so just having a show that we plan ourselves, out of schedule, just because we want to show people, we want to give those people experience. When I started going to Fashion Week, literally we'd have to sneak into shows or make up fake names, find badges on the floor just to get the experience. And I think a lot of young people are really missing out on that because they don't have the access to it. Recently, London Fashion Week did open up and say now you can buy tickets. Fuck off. Like charging 135 pounds.
I'm gonna make a video on that later, but yeah, it's just unacceptable. But
yes, not good. So effectively London Fashion Week in a way and some brands and PR are kind of restricting the amount of young people who can enter these shows. And I think that's really sad. That's why we have thought about the idea of having a show when we're at a point where we feel like it's the right time and there's just to open invite. Because I think that's a way to kind of connect with the younger people who don't have that in for fashion. So yeah, I don't think there should be, I don't necessarily think you can distinguish between Fashion Week brands and other brands.
Okay, so it isn't based on like having a fashion show. I don't think that's what puts you, it's more, so when I say position, it's the way people talk about their brand. So if you're saying that you're aligned with the likes of Yoji, so it's not really about whether you show a show or not. It's like who you say your brand is aligned with, and not mentioning any names again, but certain YouTubers who have brands, they know themselves, have said things like, this is what I'm planning to be like Yoji level and stuff, and then it's like, okay, so that's where you've kind of started yourself, that's where you've placed yourself, and then when I look at your brand, it doesn't kind of align with what you're saying it is. Maybe I'll tell you after who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, so basically that's it.
In
a nutshell. It's not even, this is probably like 1% of the YouTuber brands.
I mean, that would require at least 100 brands for it to be 1%.
Well,
I mean, realistically, we've got, I'd say 10 YouTuber brands. I think the main thing a lot of people are trying to, especially in the fashion sphere, is to not make it feel like merch. I think that's the most important part. I was an idiot, considering I named it Ronning, which is obviously not always a good thing. It's getting more okay as it grows, but there'll always be that tie with me basically, which can be a good or a bad thing.
I think it's a good thing because I mean, now that you came out and said you're quitting fashion, I think less and less people over time will align running with your YouTube channel. Hopefully, that happens. So yeah,
I agree. Hopefully, we'll see. No, it's not to kind of push away from my name or brand thing, but I think it's always hard when you look back at stuff and you're like, could have named something else, but at the time, it's still very much an extension of what I want to wear and my wardrobe. So that's why it still makes sense to have it my surname. But it could have also worked with any other name.
Okay, so another question actually is, a lot of people have this misconception that the London fashion scene is kind of like no one likes each other, because like in America we've got Jacob Starr, Kai's, they all like hang about together.
Yeah.
And they have events. I've forgotten what they're like, sneaker events. I'm not sure what they're called.
Complex Con.
Yeah, there we go.
There's a few. Yeah.
So they're always linking up. So then everyone's like, how come you haven't collabed with Magnus or whatever? And it's like, everyone's busy. Like, no one hates each other. So what do you think about? What would you say as someone who's been in the scene longer than me?
Yeah, I don't think people are busy. Not at all.
Really? You don't think so?
You can make time.
So why do you think people don't collab in London as much as, let's say, the Americans and stuff like that?
I think to a certain extent, London is a smaller scene, and people kind of talk about different stuff within London, I'd say. So Sanj is a lot more high end.
Yeah.
I'm more like commercial.
Yeah.
Galaxy is more designer. Kofi is mainly blogging or asking people how much their clothes are. Ari is hypebeast. So most of us don't always overlap.
Yeah.
And the people who do overlap would be myself and Sanj, who hang out a lot. Or maybe Galax, who I haven't really hung out much with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree. There is definitely, I don't even think it's a misconception, but I don't think the fashion YouTubers in London hang out that much.
Yeah.
But I think it's because we all kind of have different areas and different communities where we hang out, and it's not always kind of the whole vloggy, like, oh, look at my YouTube friends.
Yeah.
And I also think that the mentality of a lot of the London fashion YouTubers is very independent. Like, most of us shoot by ourselves, edit by ourselves. So the idea of kind of coming together and hang out all the time might be a bit foreign.
Yeah.
And although I did say that we're not busy, I've got other stuff that I do day to day. So if I film a video, it's usually that day.
Yeah.
And the rest of the week is kind of busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But I speak to Sanj a lot, pretty much every day.
Yeah.
I speak to the PQ a lot, who are in a way also fashion YouTubers. But in a way I'm kind of like an introvert. Like, I don't really hang out that much outside of my own safe spaces. So I think that's more to do with personality, and I'm not always the best at reaching out to people either.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think of PAQ? You mentioned them. I was going to ask you actually. Like, what do you think about what they're doing?
Yeah.
What they've achieved? You know, it was a good thing that they came in the scene, because now it kind of helped you grow, and Sanj and stuff with like the best dressed YouTuber and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and how did it feel to take the L? You know.
I wear with pride. I don't mind. I think PAQ is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Like, I love the guys. I really do love the guys. But I think in some aspects they've kind of set the bar very high.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing always, but for people who are independent creators, they could never create that kind of content alone. So it's very easy to kind of tunnel vision and see, okay, PAQ is getting loads of views, I should do better quality content.
Yeah.
But in reality, PAQ is more like a Netflix show on YouTube rather than an independent creator doing stuff. So I like that they kind of push people to do more work and kind of do up their content level. But at the same time, I don't necessarily think that it's a content level that needs to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because something I'm coming to grips with now and times with is that people just come to see personalities on YouTube, and they come to see people kind of being themselves, being independent. Although every guy from PAQ is a personality in himself.
Yeah.
It's like they've been put on this umbrella term PAQ, and you guys are a show together.
Yeah.
So I love the guys. I love all the stuff they do. But I don't always think that is the best for YouTube sometimes. you guys from PQ watching. Hey, I had a great time at the Cara party. Nah, it is a tricky one because they're all so nice and they're all very good friends. But sometimes I think it's pushing the boundary too much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also opening for loads of opportunities for other creators in the fashion scene because brands are coming to the platform and there are more ways now to essentially make money on content. I know there's been a lot of criticism online about how they seem to be doing a lot more sponsored stuff and how it's less organic now and sometimes the boys seem less happy. I think when you've made 50, 60, 70 episodes, same format, it's always going to get to that point. Unless you're doing podcast based, unless you're doing something where it fluctuates or changes a lot, it's a natural problem you'll always kind of have.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But what do you think of them?
No, I like it. I like what I remember seeing. Like the first episode I saw PAQ was when they were testing North Face Supreme, the North Face Supreme collab, and like going up the mountain. I was like, whoa, the quality of this is crazy. The photography, cinematography is just out of this world. So yeah, I always thought it was amazing. Now it's kind of semi getting repetitive. I would say they should kind of like go away from the whole they do something as a challenge as a judge at the end, because it's almost like too repetitive, like you get used to it. But either way I'll still watch it because it's so good. Like the cinematography, everything is just so good. The fact that all four of the people on PAQ, they have different personalities, different styles, so there's also the style inspiration in that. But I think the biggest thing, and me being a like fashion YouTuber so to speak, is they have the ability to get more people who wouldn't necessarily be interested in fashion into it, because the quality is so good that people that don't really like fashion will watch it anyway. So that's the best thing I think about PAQ. So yeah, but
so what do you think of Neighbour?
Neighbour, well,
controversial. We can go to another question if you want.
No. I see. Look, I don't shy away from controversy. I feel like Neighbour, they're not different enough to the point where it almost seems like they all have the same personality, and like so it's not like PAQ where it's like the difference in personalities and all coming together. Neighbours doesn't feel like that.
Okay.
I feel like it will do well because being politically incorrect, it's a female show and like people stan, it's an all-female show, we're gonna stan it, but I'd rather just have people with different personalities. It almost seems unauthentic in a way. I prefer a Cairo TV show. I actually prefers Bad Canteen. I don't know why they stopped that, but I love that show. Definitely prefer it to Neighbour. Sorry if you're from Neighbour and you're watching this. My bad, but I don't lie. I don't sugarcoat things. I always say how I feel. It's just how I am. So yeah.
That's fine. I mean, that's how it should be in a way. See, my thing with their shows in general is that I don't watch on my phone. I'll just put it on my TV. So I'll literally. I'll watch it on YouTube, but I'll not sit like this on my phone. I'll always go full screen, just because that's how I think it's best watched. I think sometimes you kind of cram too much into a little phone. When in reality, some of the stuff they do needs to go on a bigger screen. That's something I will say.
Yeah, definitely. So is there anything on YouTube you dislike, especially in the fashion scene?
I think, I dislike how much is your outfit. But I think that's just the format. Not the format, sorry, not the format. I dislike the reason why people go to the meetups. I'm very, very pro meetups. I'm very pro kind of outfit battles, or pro this whole way of showing yourself off. But I think the underlying basis that it's been built on is how expensive is your outfit. And I think that's what, for me, kind of ruins it in a way. Like I love the thing you did in South Africa. I think that's a great documentary.
I really love that.
That's amazing. But I feel like it's a concept and a format that's here to get views and not to necessarily inspire anyone. I'll be much more interested in seeing I can't say that because I might do it. Sorry guys. Nah. Yeah. As I said, Guess the Views, in many ways, that's kind of what's really built Kofi's career. He's a very good filmmaker, but I think it's sad that the way he's shined a lot is by making that kind of content, which I don't think is the best he can make.
Yeah.
And I think that's a sad part. But hey, I think fashion-wise, that's probably the main thing that I'm not really interested in. There's the whole hypebeast thing, but I've kind of accepted. I don't know why I say accepted. I've kind of I've just decided to let that be it, and there's no reason to kind of go
hate
and
or
stick in a turd, you know.
Yeah.
I've left it.
Oh my god. Okay, so
I'll scrape shit off your feet. So.
Oh my word. Yeah. So anyway, how does it feel to be a meme? Do you know why people call you a lesbian?
So you said you weren't going to ask me this. But I mean, I don't mind being a meme, but I think
does it get annoying at some point? This is just like, oh, for fuck's sake, not today.
I think it's annoying when you are not that comfortable or confident within your own content.
Yeah.
Like if you're on the edge about whether or not you think your video is great, then too many memes going, oh, nice one, you lesbian, whatever. It's a bit, you're not confirming whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
In terms of like the whole meme, I'm very much a part of really what started.
Yeah.
Can't go back and change that, but I think what I dislike the most about the whole lesbian meme is that for people who are actually lesbians, or for people who are closeted and kind of on the edge and kind of curious or unsure about how they stand, I think it's a very, very shit thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because if it's something that's been made fun of, you don't want to how do you feel comfortable in your skin if people make fun of it to someone who is clearly not a lesbian? So I think that's my biggest pet peeve. Not to get too much like social justice but that's kind of the border for me. I've spent enough years on the internet to know that whatever people say online is not always a reflection of their opinion of you. So I couldn't really. I'm not too bothered.
And it's groupthink. I think if people see other people calling you a lesbian, they're gonna join in, and then it just becomes a thing. But
mob mentality.
There we go. That's the right term.
That's 2019's catchphrase. Mob mentality. So are there any memes of you? Are there any
memes of me?
Memes.
I don't think there are. Let's not make a meme of me right now. There's not really any memes I think people make fun of me, but it's to do with certain videos. Like I made a very controversial video about Vetements.
Okay.
And I was saying it's why people getting tired of Vetements, and that divided so many opinions.
Yeah.
And there's a meme of me because apparently I pronounced it wrong. So now in my new videos, people just type in the correct pronunciation. It's like, okay. Vetements. It's like, okay, I'm not French, but okay. It's not like I'd pronounce an English name wrong, but it is what it is.
I've got no opinion on that. I think my problem with people mispronouncing words is if they try to portray themselves as an expert and can't get it right.
That's true.
It's one of those things where it's different languages, so I get why people don't have the correct pronunciation.
Yeah.
But if you're a diehard or pretend to be a diehard fan of CDG or Comme des Garçons, and then you say Comme des Garçons or whatever, then it's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like
That's going back to the positioning thing when I was talking about brands.
Yeah.
But I made a whole video very recently actually about why you don't have to pronounce designer names right, because it's just not that serious. Even if I tried my hardest, some words I just won't get right because I don't speak French. It's just how it is. So this expectation you have to.
Enfant riche de primaire.
I don't know what you said, but you know.
ERD.
The French guys will know.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I think it depends how you try to portray yourself and sell yourself. Because if a job place, if a business gets a CV and you've got spelling mistakes in it,
that's a good point.
Take you seriously. So I'm not saying you should witch hunt people. But I think there are levels to what you should do. I don't know. I mean, if I don't know how to pronounce it, I'll give it a little acronym or a little abbreviation. So CDG. There you go.
Very good. But also knowing you're from Denmark. I don't actually know much about the Danish fashion scene.
Same.
So what, mate? Come on.
Same.
How can you not know about the Danish fashion scene?
I left at 16, so.
Yeah, but that's not really like, I'm Nigerian, but I don't live in Nigeria, but I kind of know what's going on just because I'm trying to be patriotic,
I don't give a fuck. Literally. Some people are like very patriotic, and I'm like, hey, I'm not even born in Denmark.
Oh seriously? Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Born in the UK, but I like Denmark. Denmark's amazing, but I'm not waving my Danish flag every morning. I'm not super concerned about what's happening. Danish fashion scene though, Hellet Meal is probably the brand that's most exciting right now in Denmark, I will say. You've got brands like Ganni who make amazing women's clothing. Apart from that, it is what it is. I'm sure there are some like emerging designers that I don't know of, but I'm not really in tune with that at all, and I haven't really been actively trying to get in tune with that. So
okay, I thought I'd ask you because first of all, people will be interested in that. Secondly, you kind of seem to be the guy who finds out about brands first. Like for example, the first time I ever heard of Adera was through you. Or like Mason Kitsune and brands like that. So it was like, this guy kind of knows these brands quite early. So I thought I'd ask you just put that in there.
So I found Adaera I made a video in 2017. Or just beginning of 2008. No, 2017.
I think it was 17,
Where I made a video called I Bought a Whole New Wardrobe for autumn, winter, whatever, spring, summer. Where I just bought 27 pieces from a brand called Hi-Fi FNK. Which is basically a Korean wholesale brand, pretty much. Bought that, and then I had my Anderson Bell trousers, which were the beige one with a white stripe down the side. And then when you find one brand, you kind of stumble on other ones in the same kind of sphere. But what was really funny for me was that all these brands which I was buying from Korea had very Scandinavian aesthetics. Because at that time, the Scandinavian aesthetic was very, very popular in Korea. So they would look at brands like Acne and then make their kind of version of it. So stupid enough, I would live in the UK and I'd buy stuff from Korea which had Scandinavian aesthetics. But that's kind of how I figured out. Maison Kitsune I've been a fan of since I was probably 16 because they had some nice jumpers and they had the little fox and I was like some rapper probably wore it, I don't fucking know. But I don't know, I don't really know much about low-key Danish brands, to be honest.
Okay, so
what's a poppin' Nigerian brand though?
Nigeria, alright. So we don't have we have some high fashion brands, like there's Morolola, I think Fashion Week. There's some few designers here and there kind of doing things, people won't really know them, like Kenneth and those type of guys. Then there's like a lot of streetwear brands. The biggest one is probably a brand called Vivendi. And Vivendi, they've collabed with like Off-White, Nike, Pata. So that's like the Nigerian brand doing things. They had an event called Homecoming, I think. That was I think it was in Easter. And they had Naomi Campbell went, Jordan Woods. So they're doing big things. But I'd say those are the two big ones. But Morolola is definitely like high fashion wise
emerging.
Definitely. Yeah, we got some things going on. We
Yeah,
got some.
Not bad. I mean, yeah. To be honest, I know very little about African culture.
Yeah. You're not expected to.
No, but I find it interesting. Like it's stuff that we learn about in history.
Yeah.
But it's always been the white people's perspective. I mean.
So what would you say the white people's perspective is of Africa?
I mean, if you look at it in terms of the Boer War back in the 1898 to 01, very bad.
Oh yeah.
With South Africa, and you had the genocides.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really bad perspective to have. I've
Yeah.
never had the opportunity to go to Africa yet. I'll definitely go.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a very interesting place for culture and to try the local cuisine and all that.
Yeah.
But admittedly, right now, Africa seems very far away
Yeah.
for me, and that's because I don't really have any connection to it, any ties to it. But it's like a place I want to explore.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Word of advice
Yeah.
for Africa and everyone watching. It's kind of a difficult place. So obviously there's a lot of poverty. Then there's a middle class and there's an upper class. But it's kind of like in England when people say they're broke, they're not really broke. Like in Africa when you're broke, like you can't afford food.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't ever see really unless you wanted to go out of your way to see it, to go to like those poor areas. The cities are just like cities here, like there's KFC and whatever and like cinemas and stuff, and then just beside like the town beside it will be like people with no houses and no clothes. So it's kind of a weird dynamic. It is good to see both, but the thing about Africa is if you don't know anyone in Africa, unless you're going to somewhere more posh like Morocco or Egypt, then like if you were to go to Nigeria and you don't know anyone, you'd have a tough time.
Yeah.
Because Africans, a lot of them, because they're so poor, they're trying to make ends meet, so they will like outsmart you at any opportunity. Like something costs £10, they'll tell you it's 20, and you just think that's the price. And like I've had friends who have gone.
I never trust that.
Yeah, they get fucking shafted, and they get like so. Yeah, that's the biggest word of advice. Like definitely have someone here. I mean, even this Christmas, there's one of my friends. He wants to come, so I was like, yeah, I'm going. So that's the best time to come, because honestly, if you don't have anyone, they're gonna.
You're gonna get shafted.
Yeah, you're gonna get shafted at every corner. Taxis, they're gonna like multiply it by 10.
Yeah, I went to Croatia last year, and get out the airport. I find a taxi guy. They all stand outside.
Yeah.
Trying to obviously get you to go to taxis, and then I ask him how much, and he goes something like 400. I'm like. Sounds like a lot. Going Uber is 220. I was like, I'll do 200. He goes 400. I was like, nah, 220. And he said no. I said, okay, I'll buy Uber.
Yeah.
So it's weird because you can't even, you don't understand any of the language.
Yeah.
So you've got no idea what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Mobolola, sick. She had a really sick show last season. This season's great.
Yeah.
Drake's been wearing a jacket.
Yeah,
so
I saw that.
I don't find it very wearable, the stuff, but I'm also from a very different culture.
Yeah.
But I think it's very cool to see very, very strong culture in a brand that's showing at Fashion Week. Apart from that, Aggie and Sam.
Yeah.
Not from I don't know if they're Nigerian.
No, I don't. I'm not too sure. I don't want to say
No, they have some cool stuff. They don't really do much anymore, but. Yeah, you've definitely got.
Yeah.
I say like I know a lot about it, but there's definitely some.
No, Africa's known for like fashion-ish. Yeah. Like over the years, like tie-dye, a lot of it comes from Africa, like originates from Africa. People don't know because it's like trendy now, tie-dye. Yeah, a lot of artwork originates from Africa. Even in like British museums, there's like a lot of artwork that they won't give back.
Okay.
Because during slavery they kind of stole a lot of shit and won't give it back now, but yeah, that's more political stuff. But
I'm not surprised.
Why are you not surprised? Go on.
Because I think it's always like once people get very comfortable with stuff they've stolen, they treat it like it's theirs.
Yeah.
So eventually they just start seeing it as theirs.
Yeah.
If you if you steal a jumper from someone. Not that I'll do that, but steal jump someone, wear it for 5 years.
Yeah.
after the 5 years come, you won't be like, oh yeah, I stole it. It's just like, it's mine.
Yeah.
But it's sad. I can't really think much about it, but I'm still not surprised that it's happening.
So last question I have to ask, because there are a lot of people who like want to be YouTubers and stuff. I think that's kind of like a trendy thing to do right now. So what would you say from your perspective are the pros and cons?
Number one, you're not special.
What, so a con? You're not special?
You're not special. That's just like the whole. I mean, that's something that most people should remember. I'm not special.
Yeah.
Like, your parents might tell you you're special, and they've given you this great upbringing, and you've always been told that you're special.
Right.
No one gives a fuck on the internet.
Right.
Like, if you think that you're special, then what's made it come to that point? You should always act, or you should always believe that you're not special, and just work because you want to work, and you should do videos because you want to do videos. People on the internet, unless your parents are famous, unless something miraculous happened, will treat you like you're nobody. Like, you're not. You might be the most popular in the class or in school, but if you're starting out on the internet, then you're nobody.
Yeah.
And often until you have made something for yourself online, people will not always see what you say as being serious.
Right.
Like, I can give my opinion now and people respect it because of stuff I've done previously, and that's not me trying to be pretentious. But if someone said the exact same opinions but didn't have the following, people wouldn't bat an eyelid. So I think it's very important to kind of come to terms with the fact that the only reason why our opinions are respected is because we have a following behind us.
Right.
Because in reality, it's just an opinion. Pros is that it's a hobby, and it can be a lot of good fun. You can meet a lot of amazing people for it. It's a great interest. It makes you feel really good. The con is that if you get into it for the wrong reasons, then it's gonna eventually fuck you up. And often, what fucks people up is like, what's your price? How much will it cost for me to make you wear this? Or for you to promote this? So the second money gets involved is where suddenly you up the antes, or you just crumble in a way. Because like what's your price?
Yeah.
If top man comes, if I don't know, George from Asta comes and goes, we want to do a video, what's your price?
Yeah.
You might say, I don't want to compromise, but I think the truth is that a lot of people who once said, I'm not going to promote, end up promoting because someone goes, I'll pay you $1,000. And then you kind of weigh up. So
compromise or $1,000, and then
So I guess the con is that it's very, very tough. A lot of people want to do it, and you need to be very lucky, have a very good work ethic, and not be scared to work overtime. And not be scared to say opinion, and not be scared that you won't succeed. Because end of the day, you might spend 2 years making YouTube videos, and although you won't make any money on it, although people, you won't have a following, whatever, you still learn how to film videos. So work towards hobbies and things you want to do where you learn stuff. Because end of the day, if you don't succeed in 2 years, you still learned how to do a lot of other things. So make sure to go full time on stuff that will benefit you no matter what in the end. That's my life advice.
That's the interview from me and woke Magnus, But thank you very much for coming on the channel, doing the second interview.
Thank you for visiting.
Thank you very much for having me. Hopefully many more people. I'm trying to get absolutely everyone in the London scene and beyond. So I've got many more left. But we'll see how that goes.
Hey, I stopped for a reason. So. No.
Well, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, thank you very much. You know, the usual-ish, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one.